Hey everyone, I'm Sarah from Whirl.
I'm Kristen from Rage Against the Minivan.
And we are here to discuss the Bachelor Finale.
What was that?
What a train wreck.
I'm still uncomfortable.
I have so many problems and issues with this episode that
you know what?
had to take notes. Scribbling.
Let's just not do any of it, and let's just talk about Sean and Catherine and how nice they are.
I know.
Let's just talk about
I know, because they're just so sweet.
Could they be cuter?
They could not be cuter.
I mean, let's talk about like a contrast between Sean from last season, who is such a gentleman.
Yes.
So sweet, married the girl.
Yeah. Did you see how uncomfortable he was when they like show his face? It was like he was visibly having trouble. Like he was almost like he was grinding his teeth. He was so uncomfortable watching this.
He wanted to punch him.
He wanted to punch him.
Yeah. And even the things he did say were a gracious way of saying like you're kind of a jerk.
Kind of a jerk. But here is my thing. We already know that Juan Pablo is a jerk, and we have known this for a long time. And I think he's disgusting. But I am so disgusted with both of the girls.
Yes.
I am disgusted
I am too.
that there were 5,000 red flags that were thrown up in their faces by him, by his family, and they just kept on going. And I was so embarrassed for these women. And it's not like, we're watching a show and we kind of see this evil side. They don't see. I mean, he was blatant with them.
I know.
Okay, so let's just start with Claire's date, right? Well, first of all, I really liked Claire's pink dress. It was like hibiscus silk.
Yes.
It was very pretty.
Yes.
I just wanted to say that. I liked your dress, Claire. That's about it.
She always looks great.
Yeah, she looked really great. So, she meets with the family, and, here come the red flags, right?
Oh,
so,
boy.
I mean, they're basically like, he's not the nicest person, it's just his honest, like they said, he can be kind of rude.
Yeah.
And I loved how she said, well, he's just being honest. And I'm like, I'm so sick of this honest thing being thrown around.
I am too.
No, that's not being honest. That's being rude, like Andy said.
Yes.
There's a fine line between being honest and being an asshole.
Okay, but I actually feel like, I know this whole time we've been thinking, maybe he's a jerk. But we've always been a little bit like, or is it cultural, or is it... And I feel like this is the episode where everything broke down. And like his true colors were revealed, that he is just a manipulative narcissist.
Yes.
I mean, from the beginning of the episode to the end, a manipulative narcissist. And his family was saying so.
Yeah, they were blatantly saying it. Rodolfo, the cousin, who
should have been a contestant or a
thanks,
bachelor
Rodolfo.
instead of...
You're so sweet.
He was nice.
He was very nice, but he was like, so, when he walks away, are you willing to hold on? Like, how strongly can you hold on when he wants to walk away, basically? I'm like, well, okay, if anyone ever said that to me, I'd be like, oh, I'm done. Like,
I know.
If a cousin is talking to me about this, and she's like, oh yeah, I'm so strong, and I'm willing to make this work, and la la la, and I barf, barf, barf.
I know.
His dad seems really sweet. I was a little uncomfortable with the hand holding and telling each other they love you between the dad and Claire.
Okay.
It was very...
And then, I can't remember which girl he did it to, but he was like, no matter what happens, you'll always be a part of my family.
I think that was Claire.
Yeah, that was super weird. He was more demonstrative than Juan Pablo.
I just don't know why they had to be holding hands. And he said, I love you. And he did say, I love you, or hold Nikki's hand. But I don't know, maybe that's just her chemistry. Like, all the men just love, love, love her. So, and I also think it's funny that, so Rodolfo is the sweet guy with the bracelets, and then there's Rodrigo, who's his brother, who apparently did not make the cut, because all they showed were like a little snippet at the end. I think that she might be a good candidate, and the next girl. I think she could be good. So obviously,
they're like, bring in the cousin.
Yeah, I know.
Smart.
The charming cousin with the bracelets.
One of the things that really struck me too in the family meetings was, there are some major cultural differences. One of which is that he speaks a different language with his daughter.
Yes.
And his family.
Well, yes.
And as we're watching this, I am all for interracial, intercultural dating.
Right.
Yay. But these are major cultural differences, like language differences. And I just couldn't help wondering, why were there not more Latina women on this show? What is that about?
Well,
does he not want to date?
I don't think so. Because I'm sure I don't know. But I would assume when they start these shows, they are like what kind of women are you attracted to?
So as well.
And I mean, I think he obviously said, I don't want to date Latina women.
I thought that was very odd. Like, as we get to the end and realizing, like, oh no, he is, he's very...
Right.
He doesn't even really speak English in his home.
That's so
his
true.
daughter does not speak English.
Oh, but according to those women, that's fine because we love each other so much. Okay, so then we have Nikki, who's wearing another Coachella braid. She really likes this.
I have to also ask, sidebar, are they not able to do their roots?
Oh, thank you. I sat there just staring at her, and I'm like, it's not like she's going for an ombre. It's just like 2 inches of like
it's what I looked like last week. Yeah.
But why?
I think maybe they're so busy or they're so like under contract that they're not able to. Because I notice that happens every season. Like by the end, everyone's roots are like, oh.
You're right. Maybe they just can't do that. But okay, so she had I actually wrote these 3 things down. Like I was scribbling furiously last night.
Oh my gosh.
Because if these are not the 3 biggest red flags ever. So these are the 3 things that were said to her. First of all, by the mom, he's not an easy man. He's not easy. Well, red flag. Number 2, are you sure you want to watch TV all day?
Bingo. I know.
Okay.
That was hilarious.
I was, what?
And it was like, Nikki was like, I think we'll go to the beach.
Oh yeah, we'll have a family day.
And the mom's like, you'll watch TV.
You'll watch TV all day.
That's what he does.
And then from Cousin Rodrigo, who we love, how much fighting can you take?
Oh my gosh.
What?
I know.
You just had his family say these 3 things to you, and you're like, I love him so much.
Okay, did you notice that she seemed a little tearful when she was talking to his mom?
Yes.
And I think, I feel like at that moment, that is the point where like Nikki's personality split. Yeah. And she was crying and like that was a war that was waged and she did not win. And from then on, she looked like an automatron.
She did. It was like she checked out.
She checked out.
I think you're right.
Or she was reading from a script and being paid. Or she was being held against her will.
Yeah.
Nikki, blink if you're being held against your will. Like she just seemed... It's great. Everything's great.
I know. And I feel like, I don't know, but from the earlier shows, I got the feeling she was an intelligent girl.
She went to medical school.
She is strong. And you are right. And I don't understand. I mean, not to like skip forward, but after they have their time alone that night, and she's basically heartbroken and sobbing on the couch. And then you come back from commercial and she's getting dressed saying, this is going to be the best day of my life.
I know.
That does not make any sense, but sorry, I jumped ahead. So we can go back to Claire that night.
Okay.
Okay, well, they go on their date.
Yeah.
And, okay, so...
Where he says, what does he say?
Okay, well, this is the thing. She says, she says that he said, I love hooking up with you is the word. But you notice at the end, after he lets her go, she says... Fucking.
She said what?
I think when he bleeped her, she said fucking.
I thought he said I love your P word.
Oh, okay. I really wish we could like look at this again because I swear when she's like in that exit interview and she's crying, she says, I can't believe he said I love and bleeping you.
Yeah,
I thought it was you at the end. And I think I thought that's what she said because at first she said that. I love hooking up with you.
Yes.
So
yes, that's true. She did.
Okay, so if he
either way, he said something really rude.
Yeah,
and sexual.
Who says that? But once again, who is on the recipient end of that kind of comment and just keeps on pressing on?
Yeah.
I don't really know you very well, but I love bleeping you.
But also, why are they sleeping with him when he's dating other people?
Well,
and I don't think this happens on every Bachelor season.
No,
I don't
but they obviously did sleep together.
Sleep with each other, but they obviously did. And it's like, why? Why would you do that?
Claire, that's why he didn't pick you. And you know what, Nikki? That's why he picked you, because I don't think you slept with him. And I think he wants to sleep with you, and when he's done with you, unfortunately, I think that's the case. And, I loved how he said to Claire, what's private stays in private. So, it was obvious that they had slept together.
Oh, so obvious.
Claire, I'm sorry, but look at this guy. Of course, that's what he wanted. What else is there left for him? The conquest, it's over.
Okay, this is what I am dying to know about last night, too. So, Nikki, did she sit and watch that finale? backstage. So did she see that he said that to Claire 2 days before he gave her the final rose?
Well, like you said, I mean, she was totally checked out in the after the rose thing.
Because even if I had been Nikki and had the wool pulled over my eyes and got all the way to the end, watching that finale, I would have been like, oh hell no.
Oh hell no.
Oh, we're done.
But she just sat there smiling during the after the rose, like everything was fine. I do not understand what's happening.
I don't either. Okay.
It's so weird. Okay,
let's go back to, so Claire's date, but she continues the date.
Oh yeah, because I could see us having babies. Like, we're going to have a baby next April or something. And she's like, okay. Well, of course you are if you're sleeping together all the time.
It's like she confronts him, which good for her, but then he says nothing. And then she was like, I'm so glad we had this talk. You know, he really said nothing. He just circles around and around.
I know. And then he like tries to save the day with putting that stupid song on his phone.
Which I'm sure the producer put on his phone.
I'm sure. And then she starts crying, and then I like involuntarily could not stop rolling my eyes. I was in the room by myself with my husband, and it was like I couldn't even keep myself. I mean, I was just like, oh my god, you're kidding me. Oh, I just rolled my eyes for the next 5 minutes. Like I can't, like, she's crying, I can't believe it. This is our song. And I am just wanting to vomit, really vomit. So, you know, then that is done, right? So then he sees Nikki, and her first thing in her interview is that he's one of the most amazing men I've met in my life. And I just don't understand.
You gotta move to a big city, girl, or something.
Oh my God.
Where's she from?
Kansas City, which is a big city.
That is a big city. I mean, there's no excuse for that.
No,
Nikki.
there is no excuse for that. And I love how she starts like rationalizing, like, I think he's afraid of being hurt. Yeah. And the other red flag, shut it down right there when they're on the boat, and she's like, you know, I think maybe you're guarded. And he goes, no, I'm not. And she's like, okay. That's exactly what she did. I mean, okay, you're right.
And then they're laying on the beach, and he said, I'm going to watch TV in the living room, but then sometimes I go in my office and watch TV alone. And she's like, you won't be alone. He was like, yeah, I will. And I mean, he's confirming everything the mom said, and she's just like, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. I mean,
I know, she's just like, okay.
I'm scared for her.
Okay. I mean, she really did. You're right. I mean, she's checked out or she's medicated. I just don't understand how.
Or they promised her money. I mean, it could be that too.
Or
maybe the producer said, "We'll just pay you $200,000 if you pretend like he's not a total jerk."
That could happen.
So we don't look like
idiots. Yeah. I mean, but on that vein, why not let her, you know, just go all out on him and be like, "You're an idiot." That would have made amazing TV. I would have been like, "You go, Nikki."
Yeah.
But instead, I just watched this girl like, you know, just giggling. I feel like you're guarded. No, I'm not. Okay, well, that was a great conversation. Good discussion. So yeah, I talked about the TV. So then that ends. You know, she gives him the letter. I love you, Nikki.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, bye. Mm-hmm. And he
not
leaves.
reassuring her whatsoever.
No, just kind of like, okay, bye. And leaves, and then she sobs on the couch, and then there's the commercial, and then like I said,
and
all of a sudden she's getting dressed saying, this is going to be the best day of my life. Yeah. And I'm like, but you were just sobbing 12 hours ago.
I really feel like some of that might have been scripted. I really do.
I mean,
exactly what you said. I mean, why did both of those girls show up at that freaking rose ceremony?
Oh God, I was thinking when the boat pulled up, no one was going to get off of it.
But here's the thing. Here's the lesson that we can all take away from this, ladies. The guy that treats you well may not be the best looking guy.
Right.
You know, like, I mean, Claire's crying, like, when will this guy come? Well, he will. You're not going to meet him at a club with abs that look like that.
God, I know.
I mean, don't go for that kind of a guy.
Yeah, right, yeah. You just can't base anything on looks. No. I think we've all learned that over time, you know.
Claire and Nikki.
And there are some great, handsome men out there that are wonderful.
I think my husband's
me
really
too.
hot,
I think our husbands, So, I mean, they're out there, but, you know, maybe The Bachelor. I don't know. Yeah. But then, you know, whatever. So, okay, so the rose ceremonies start, and Claire gets off the boat, and I found it so interesting that in all of the years of Bachelor, it's always been the Bachelor or the Bachelorette, who's the star of the show, like doing the monologue. Yet they had both the girls start. Once again, proving that he cannot speak. He has nothing to say. He has no empathy. He is a total narcissist.
Oh my
so they
gosh.
have these girls go out there and be like, they've already given them the letters. They've already told them, and they're like having to like spill their guts again, which has never happened on The Bachelor before. It's always the person starts telling them, and then they're like waiting, and then either they say yes or no, whatever.
And then they say but.
Exactly. So I just feel like, that's what I wrote down. Like, he literally is narcissistic as they come. He has absolutely no empathy.
I agree.
Because when he says, I'm not picking you, and she gets upset, he is just like, the look on his face is like, what is wrong with this chick?
Yeah.
Like, what, and then as she walks off, he's like, woo,
I'm
glad I didn't pick her.
That guy, he cannot handle a woman disagreeing with him.
Oh,
Cannot handle it. Clearly.
And, yay for Claire. I'm so glad she finally, walked off and said this. But at the same time, it's just like, you know what? If he would have said, marry me, you would have done it willingly. So it's not like I'm, oh, yay, Claire. At least she stood up for herself. I'm proud of her for doing that. But at the same time, it's just like, that was all out of anger.
Yeah.
That wasn't like suddenly you realized.
His true nature.
His true nature.
His true nature was there all along.
Yeah, it was right there beating you in the face practically. Like, goo.
And then what he says to Nikki,
What did he say?
I like you a lot.
Oh, and I like you.
Wink.
A lot.
Uh-huh.
Are we in 4th grade?
I know. And again with the ridiculous honesty, I've got a ring in my pocket, but I'm not going to use it. Like, maybe hold that back. You don't have to tell her that. Don't bring the freaking ring.
I've got a ring in my pocket, but I'm not going to use it.
But I like you a lot.
But I like you.
Maybe we can hook up. Oh,
God,
it's intolerable.
Oh,
and then did you notice he said to her, don't get cranky right now. Wait until later. Don't get cranky right now.
What?
Oh my gosh.
And oh yeah, it just, and then, once again they had her do her whole soliloquy. She's like, and blah, 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 and then he tells her, and she's kind of like, okay, okay, just looking all bright-eyed, and and he did a lot of the, well, at least with Claire, he did a lot of the, okay.
Oh, a lot of that, yeah.
Because my husband was in bed next to me reading a magazine, and all of a sudden he just looks up and he's like, that guy sure says and okay a lot. And I'm like, yes, that, and I told him about the
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, so yeah, but that whole thing was just so unbelievable.
Yeah.
I felt nothing.
And then we cut to the after the final rose. Nikki's on the sofa and again just looks. You know what she reminded me of? She reminded me of a girl who is on a beauty pageant when she's been asked the question of how would you like to change the world, and she's reading from her script.
Yeah.
I want to solve poverty. She just seemed so fake. I don't know what is going on there for real.
No.
And then Juan Pablo.
Good Lord.
He just got so contentious.
Oh, good Lord. It was just, I just couldn't believe once again that she sat there after she just saw the rose ceremony. She just saw what the audience was saying. She's seen it all now.
Unless they had her sequestered back there, which is possible because they've done that before. When he came out, he said, I didn't hear what Claire said.
Oh.
So it's possible that they had her sequestered and she didn't see the finale.
Well, how does she feel this morning? Because she looks like a grade A idiot.
Yeah. I agree. I fully expected they would cut to the final rose, bring her out, and she would be like, oh wow, having watched this, I recognize the error of my ways, we are no longer together. Right.
And then she's just like, I love him, and can you say it to her? I'm not going to say that to her. And it's so embarrassing, and just, it was just horrible. And then I have to admit, I fell asleep. So.
You missed Chris Harrison getting snarky.
Oh,
he was just not even having it. Yeah,
I think I did see that part when he's pressing about not saying I love her.
Yeah, but then, even at the end, just okay, did you realize you were coming on a TV show? And then Juan Pablo just getting belligerent and we're gonna, everything is for private. We're gonna go off in our private, which I think means we're gonna go break up after our contract is up and we don't have to pretend that we're together.
Well, I'm going to sleep with her first and then I'll break up with her. I think that's all he's waiting for. He just wants to sleep with her and then he will just go about his merry business watching TV all day in his office or bedroom.
Up till now, I feel like The Bachelor has been just a kind of dumb show, but I feel like this show was a statement of humanity.
Yeah.
A very sad.
It was a little rage-inducing.
It was.
Usually you're just kind of like...
But assholes and the women who love them.
That's what they should call the show.
I know.
The asshole.
So
oh my
sweet.
God. Well, so then, okay, I kind of like rolled over and looked up and I saw Andy walking. So I'm like, oh, okay, so
Thank
she's going to
goodness.
we know she's going to be the next Bachelorette. So
that was an obvious choice.
That should be good. Hopefully she'll get some good contenders there because
she's smart.
She's smart and she obviously does not want to mess with this business anymore.
I know. Although I have to say, yet again, another white person, like, and I'm hoping, could she be the Bachelorette where there are actually some black men
I don't know.
that go further than date 2.
I don't know.
You know, they always have the token, but like, she lives in Atlanta.
Right.
Come on, Amy.
I know.
Like,
I know.
Please have some color in your next cast, and then maybe the guy that doesn't win could be the next Bachelor, and he's black because
I was just saying, when is there going to be a black Bachelor?
Seriously, it's
come
ridiculous.
on, it's been like what 11, 12 years.
18 seasons.
Oh my God,
18.
that's great. Yeah, so I mean that's insane.
But
so
the only way it's going to happen is that. You
right.
know, they have to, because they usually pick from the last final 5 or 4 or something. But I'm really hoping. But what's frustrating is, exactly like you said before, they say their preferences. So the reason that people of color aren't getting on the show is because obviously people
the ones that they're
are saying no thanks, except for Sean.
Who
was the best Bachelor ever.
Saint Sean.
Just
we love you.
Be the standard from now on.
Come on, we love you, and Catherine, you guys are great. So we're dying to hear what you have to say about this episode.
Seriously, what do you guys think? Do you think they're really together? Is she faking or just out to lunch?
Let us know.